Well, hey friends, how about an inner child reading today? We're going to do a pick a card reading. I'm going to pull a card from this deck for each inner child, and then we'll get a sense of who that kid is, and then you pick which one you want to find out about. Of course, you may have all four of these people in you. I have many inner children that I work with. They're all awesome, as are yours, no doubt. Then you'll pick that kid and you'll go into the reading. The reading will ask, I have 5 questions that we're going to ask. Number 1, how is this inner child appearing in your life? Number 2, what kind of trigger, what causes that inner child to come forward? Then we're going to ask, what is the effect that this part of you has on your life and on your relationships? Then we'll ask for a little advice, and we'll ask about the outcome. Should you take this advice? So let's get into that. You'll find timestamps below. Once you have picked the reading that you want to go to, you can go to the information box below this video and click ahead to that reading. And so there is going to be like goofy time between readings, so we can just fast forward over that way, or hang out with me and my goofiness. You can certainly watch all 4 of these, but you should be able to see which one is the one that you need to know about primarily today. All right, so the first inner child is a beautiful, sorrowful 5 of Cups. This is a beautiful inner child, very sad, very brave. And we are going to be finding out about this inner child using the Wise Dog Tarot. And on the bottom of that deck, pre-shuffle, we see the Strength card. Beautiful. Okay, so that's number 1. Number 2 will be a 10 of Wands. This one is a hard worker and is ready to put some burden down. And for that, we're going to be looking at the Mystic Mondays tarot deck. Interestingly, this is that deck. You get the 5 of Cups on that deck as well. Very different version of the same card as Inner Kid 1. There's sadness in these inner children, so that makes sense to me. But they're very different kinds of people. Thirdly, in different ages, I can already see, right? This one, you can see the age of this one. This one is coming in more of like an inner teenager. Okay. This kid is a Page of Pentacles. Fun. That's great. And we're going to be using the, what is this? The Moon Witch Tarot deck. And on the bottom, you have a beautiful 4 of Wands. This is a very authentic soulmate energy here. This person, I'm looking forward to meeting this Page of Pentacles too. Wonderful. And fourthly, last but not least, we have somebody with some anxiety, insomnia, a 9 of Swords. And we'll be using this deck, the Star Seeker deck. And on the bottom, we see a beautiful 10 of Cups. Okay, so those are your 4 inner children. So number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. I'll see you at the reading. Okay, we'll start number 1 at 4:30. Well, hi, you are here for inner child number 1. This beautiful 5 of Cups, young energy, lots of sorrow. Looking at the emptied cups, there are 2 cups here. There's a signaling justice, also signaling a soulmate connection. But when you're grieving, and she is, as you can see in the card, crying and sad, So you have a sad little person here. Okay, so let's find out what this kid is about, what she's bringing to your life, and what you need to do for her. Okay, I'm going to use this Wise Dog Tarot to find out. So the first question we're going to ask is, how is this inner kid visible in your behavior? So these inner children they show up in our lives, sometimes in very, very positive, beautiful ways, and sometimes in very challenging ways. So let's see how this one is showing up in your life. Okay, this one likes dogs. Let's see. Okay, so number one, this kid shows up in Ace of Swords behavior. Okay, this is a person that speaks the truth. And not always an easy truth. Kind of a frank person. Yeah. Just very open and forthright. That's pretty cool. That's pretty healthy, because inner children we're taught as kids to deal with trauma and to kind of protect the family dysfunction through secret keeping. Don't talk, don't trust, don't feel is a rule. My sister, when she was little, was really open, and she would always call things as they were. So if you have a part of you that can't help but call out stuff, that's this part here. That's where this is coming from. This one may be telling you things that you need to hear. I know my inner children can be wiser than I am as an adult, more in touch. Okay, what triggers this truth telling? An Ace of Cups, lots of beginning. So these are emotions. They're kind of overflowing emotions. So this is a heart feeling that comes out in an intellectual way. Okay, so we're going to say that this inner child deals with feelings by being kind of analytical and maybe even being a little bit sharp. But we know she has a lot of feelings, or they have a lot of feelings. We can see that here. We can see this sorrow, and that this is what triggers this truth telling. So you might have a person who is very sensitive, gets their feelings hurt, and then says something a bit sharp and honest. Okay, what is the effect on your life? The Four of Pentacles. So there is something here about control. There's also a small world view. It's like your world is kept small. The Four of Pentacles to me epitomizes like, I have what I have and I'm going to hold on fast to it. So it limits your life. There's a possibility that you keep people out of your life in order to protect your life here. I'm looking at this card. It's almost like there's this house on fire in the background. So that shows me that there's just something like kind of out of control that happened in your childhood. That's usually why we split and make inner children. There's something traumatizing that happened, and then you learn these behaviors to control and prevent further crisis. So that's what we're seeing here, that there is also control might burn your life down in ways. People don't want to be around controlling behavior. You keep people away, it limits your life here. Yeah, I'm getting a clear sense of you. So what's the advice for you of how to heal this? Sweet, it's very much a healing. Here you are with your truth. You go alone in a Four of Swords. And everybody else is out here playing, but you're in here and you're looking at your thoughts, your concepts, your stories. These are represented by the swords. This is your mind. So you need to heal your mind here. And the outcome of this is, wow, things will begin to change in your favor. The Wheel of Fortune. Beautiful. That makes sense. If you can heal your your concepts, your stories, the paradigms that you have thought kept you safe, right? So that here's you doing this it's a little bit of a sabotage behavior, this way that you're telling truth, but maybe the truths that you're telling, we will clarify. When you heal that, heal your mind. There's a woodpecker that has built a nest in my house, and call me crazy, I love it. I had a couple bird nests over the years in this little house. So if you hear that, that is the male woodpecker flirting by banging on the metal of the window frame in my house. Does no damage, but other than the hole that they built for their nest. So anyway, they wanted to say something to you. What's going on underneath this? Whew. We have all these aces here. So we have an ace of wands. This is creativity. So very often when you move out of a defense system like this, you get access to your best self, your creative potential. A lot of the time when we're unhealed from these traumas of our childhood, what we end up with is a defense system like this that prevents us from living a big life, and we live a safe life. And so this Ace of Wands says that this is really about freeing yourself to be young at heart, really, and full of great ideas here. And it's interesting on the table. If you want to look here, we can see your inner child is being sad, but when she turns from these losses, from this great sorrow towards these full cups, she will also be turning in her healing towards this. We can also see these houses back here not on fire, right? Right here we saw the house on fire, an attempt to prevent disaster failing. Well, cool. All right, well, let's clarify this. I'm choosing to clarify these readings today. So we're going to do it if needed. Yeah, I might not clarify everybody, but I'm going to clarify you. All right, so this Ace of Swords, this is how this inner kid is appearing in your life through this truth-telling. Seems a little bit sabotagey, using the mind when there's something going on in the heart. Okay, what do we have here? The Hierophant. That is a card about structures of power, history, tradition. The moon, there's some moon work here. So moon work means looking in, like inner child work is moon work, and this reading is, sometimes I call it a moon journey or an inner child reading. So here we have, let me get one more card, and the Chariot. Lots of momentum and action here. So it's like when you use this truth, what you do is you actually, it's a bit forceful how you use the truth, and you assert it with the authority of the Hierophant, right? But the problem is, and the Chariot adds force to the way that your truth hurts, okay? And this is just, it's coming from your darkness, from your unexplored places, the moon in you. And I have this, I'm a Scorpio, and I will say things, I don't even mean them, but I know they'll hurt. And I don't even know they'll hurt. It's like an instinct. And so that's a part of my recovery work, is to not use truths that aren't even necessarily true. Like this moon suggests it's not even necessarily the truth, but it's a powerful use of a statement. It's very forceful. It sounds authoritative. It sounds like you mean it. It sounds like it's informed by observation of history, and like you always do this, right? And there's something here about this little one where she's looking into the past at the spilled cups. And so there is the way that she uses what she knows of others in a pretty forceful way. but it's coming from darkness and not necessarily accuracy. So that's how this person causes you to act, right? What triggers this is something like overflowing emotions. So let's see about that. Let's clarify this Ace of Cups. What triggers this kid in you? There's the Five of Pentacles. This is a feeling of abandonment and loss. Those are painful feelings. The Ten of Cups. This is a lot of emotions, again, overflowing. This is like real happiness, though. One more. And the Tower. So, wow, a shock. Some kind of shock that brought down your... So this is old stuff that's coming up here. Even though you've... Okay, so when you were a kid... Oh, no, okay. So your feeling today of abandonment is like when you were a kid, you had this beautiful Ten of Cups, beautiful family, and then the trauma happened. This Tower, it broke down this family. The Tower says there's something at the foundation that wasn't working, and so natural forces bring it down. So you have a sense of abandonment, of being neglected. You have deep feelings about that, and they come from a childhood trauma that broke your family. It could be anything from a divorce to a death, something unexpected that took your family down. Okay, so how this affects your relationships today. And so there might be a trigger that draws up these feelings that are really ancient that come from this foundational loss. And this is the loss at which this person was born, this inner child. And that's why they're feeling so much grief. So your actions today with being a bit of a harsh truth teller go all the way back to this loss, and this is how you protect yourself from further loss. Okay, and your protection causes you to have this small world view. You can see that we understand now what that fire is, that something burned your life down when you were a kid, and so now you exert control. Are we going to say that you use the truth to keep people at a distance? Okay, the Father of Wands. There's that lightning bolt again that we saw with the Hierophant. And we see it with this Tower, okay? So this is what sets your house on fire, right? So that snake, though, the Father of Wands, he's actually about being the alpha, about control here. Okay, so there are disturbing thoughts that you can leave behind and walk towards more peaceful, happier thoughts. So we know that you need to look at your stories here. You need to walk away from those stories. Oh, and death. There's transformation. So this is good. Death is a card of Scorpio. There's two ways that it's appearing here. It's appearing here actually as death. It feels to me like there was a loss. And that any kind of loss, like a death, like a true death, there's a disaster that happened. It came out of the blue like lightning. It struck at your family, at your house, at your home, and it disrupted your life. But there's also something really interesting that comes out of how you have survived this, which is you're very powerful, like this Father of Wands. And you're also capable of having a kind of revelation that will help you change your mind and help you transform your life out of this control. So, and that's one of the cool things about inner children. They're sabotaging your life untreated, but when you heal them, they have the capacity to transform your life. Like you want to keep this beautiful person. You just want to redirect her away from the sorrow. You want to heal her and care for her and lead her towards justice, towards a Two of Cups. And that's very possible. That's what this is telling you, that this inner child both shrinks your life and has the potential to completely transform and make your life beautiful and full of peace and this rainbow joy. I love it. Okay, so your advice is heal your thoughts, particularly. Go to the swords. You need to heal. Heal your mind. It's in your mind that these destructive habits of this inner child live, and you can heal this. So let's find out more about that. It seems perfectly appropriate. There's the Empress. This is nurturing, absolute 100%, reparenting, loving yourself with all your heart, finding a way to be that nurturing presence in your life. It's also about going out into nature. And notice the moon, right? That same moon that we saw here. So you're lighting up this darkness that causes you to be pretty violent with honesty, instead turning into this nurturing Empress presence. So you may go alone out into nature. That really works for me. That's a part of this healing process. You get the happiest card in the tarot. This is just shine out, authentically be you. Beautiful, joyful card, wish fulfillment. That's gorgeous. And thirdly, a Seven of Cups. So look at your emotional connection here, because we know that. So the Seven of Cups, it's illusions, it's fantasies, it's projections, it's choice too. So when you go look at your thoughts, we know they connect to your feelings, right? We know the source of your violent honesty, of the way that you use honesty in this kind of harsh way from your darkness, is your feelings, right? So we light up this darkness like the Empress, like the sun, and in doing that, what you want to look for are these emotional sources of these projections. So it would appear to me that you get a feeling, it's triggered because of your history that is unexamined, and then you project that onto people, and then because you project onto them, say danger, that they're dangerous to you, they're going to hurt you, then you use the truth to protect yourself from them and to push them away. So that's what you want to look at. That's what you need to heal, is that connection between apparent truth. It will feel true. It does to me when it comes. But ask yourself, like, okay, well, that's them. This isn't about them. This is about me. What am I feeling? What am I projecting onto them? This is going to lie in your past. Okay? When you do that, things are going to change in your life. This is fortune turning in your favor, my friend. So let's see about that. This is a beautiful reading, and it resonates for me in my own experience of working with inner children. And I love that it shows us that this person can be destructive, but they are also quite beautiful and transformative. The Fool. Look at that sweet beginning. Leap of faith. It's true, you can't do this without divine support. And the Wheel of Fortune speaks of this as well, that you are divinely supported in this healing process. A Two of Swords. There is still your mind, and what you do is you get clarity on this decision point, right? There's the eclipse. So one can eclipse the other. So if you commit to this truth, one truth says the world's dangerous and I need to protect myself, and my weapon is truth. The other truth says, and that will bring the sun forth, And the sun is you. It's literally you being you. You being your beautiful, authentic, full self out there in the world. So you have that dilemma, right? What's the other card that we have here? Okay. And there you are, Daughter of Swords, holding that truth. But look at all of the beautiful rainbow light. I feel like that's what we saw you walking away from these old truths towards this a new kind of structure, a new story. And this is such a beautiful, open, chatty, wise person, the Daughter of Swords. So we see you in the future, not adult, not free of, or not having erased this beautiful person, but integrating this person in a healthy way, right? And then it gives you access to this. And you know what else it gives you access to? I just peeked. It gives you access to that 10 of Cups, the very one that got ruined by that tower when you were a kid. You get access to, it's a 9 of Cups. Wish fulfillment, happiness in and of yourself. That's important, right? Like, I want to see, I've got a few more cards here. So I want to see you getting that 10 of Cups back. But on the way to that, what we're seeing is you get wish fulfillment in and of yourself. It's also about healing and wish fulfillment here. Healing in that you learn how to care for yourself and fill your own needs. We see you manifesting and envisioning in a kind of vision that is not yet clear, but it's quite beautiful coming in. We see you seeing things, again, with a very young energy, a page energy, the Daughter of Wands. She is the outsider. She sees things with the wisdom of somebody that is from another country, or as I often talk about, a queer person, a person for whom the norms of the world don't work. And there is this possibility of transformation represented by the butterfly, of infinite emotional, practical balance here. This is a beautiful reading. So I hope this gives you some insight into this inner kid and how to turn that wheel with the help of the divine, so that you are transformed and that you get to integrate this young self into you is very, very clear, with nurturing and authenticity and recognizing how you project emotional things onto others, and then have given yourself permission to cut them with the truth. And I see you quitting that, and using your mind, and it's a brilliant little mind here in this Daughter of Swords. And this one is also has that wand. Remember, we see you getting the Ace of Wands, which is that inspiration and that creativity. So we see you using that here, going ahead. Well, wonderful. That is your reading. I'm going to move on towards the next one and clean up these cards here. Really cool. Get these shuffled before I start the next reading. Okay. Well, hi, you are here for the second reading. We have this 10 of Wands, person who has a burden, kind of an inner teenager here that we're going to look at. We'll ask the questions of the Mystic Mondays tarot deck, which has the 5 of Cups on the bottom here. So let's see What is going on? There's my woodpecker. Woodpecker flirting by banging on metal out on my house. All right. So let's see, getting into the energy of this 10 of Wands person. Very responsible, can have an overdeveloped sense of responsibility and have trouble putting down burdens and moving on. So there's a heaviness to this one. Responsibility is a marker of this inner child. Okay? So let's see. We're going to ask what kind of behavior this responsible inner teenager manifests in your life. So that's our first question. And oh my goodness, the High Priestess. This one is empathic. This inner teenager is able to sense, intuit, read minds. And that's what happens is you read people's minds. You might not be right about what you think is going on in their minds, but you think you can read people's minds, and then you feel responsible to respond to what you think people are feeling. It's pretty complicated. It's very common. And so this sweet young person in you is the source of that behavior in your life. Okay, so let's look a little bit further into this. What triggers this getting intuitive? We get the Star. This is a card of wish fulfillment, of divine support. It's a card of healing. So you're very empathetic and you want to heal other people. And usually if you've developed this healer, which is a wonderful quality, and you're not going to have to lose this, by the way. We just want to bring it into so that you don't feel so tired, right? We want you to feel free, right? So this inner kid feels burdened, hyper responsible. There's a little bit of a martyr feeling here, but you're motivated by the desire to help other people heal. And I think it's also motivated by this idea that you have, and you might be right, that this will heal you as well. That if you attune yourself to others, and it almost like I see you kind of like a therapist sitting here balancing things that aren't so. This balancing these two things that aren't alike, that coming through here is like, here's you, the problem of you, but you're looking at somebody else who's not you. So you see what I mean? Like if you're focusing on other people in the hope of healing yourself, it might not work because they're not you and they don't have the same beautiful, complicated arrangement that you have. Okay, we will clarify to find out more about both of these things. Okay, how does this affect your life? We get a Four of Pentacles. It causes you to have a small life. You got four things. You got them neatly boxed up here. And you could have more. But this feels good. It feels like enough. It's adequate. Though it keeps your life a little boring, a little small, maybe a little lonely here. I get that feeling here. And control is very commonly the effect that this kind of stuff can have on anybody. In fact, the last reading had the same exact card here. It looked a little bit different because the deck is different, the imagery is different. But what we see here is just a small world. So I want you to have a bigger world. And I think you do too. If this is your motivation, that's a big world, right? And you're keeping it all pretty contained, right? So I want you to burst out into yourself. Let's see what the cards want, okay? They have some advice for you. What is that advice? The advice is the moon. There you are out in the big world. And then under the moon, which you're going to be good at because you're already empathic. This card of you, this inner child, We see, and I think it's not a mistake that we see you under the stars. There's a kind of cosmic connection that you're capable of, right? You have this big connection to the whole universe. And all inner children can both sabotage your life and make your life better. We don't want to get rid of this 10 of Wands kid. We want to heal this person so that they can be their best self and so they can be a kid. And you're the grown-up and they're the kid, right? So that's how we heal ourselves here. So we take you out into the world. And we do this by doing a moon journey, which is basically an examination of your life. Because that's what you're motivated by. You want this big life, okay? And the outcome here of this work, the magician. Look at you, very capable of manifesting the world that you want to live in. You have all the tools. The magician has the sword, the wand, the cup, the pentacle, and you can make the world that you want to live in real. It's a very powerful, magical ability. What's going on the bottom here? A Knight of Wands. So this is a very charismatic, fun, sexy energy here. That's so different, right? They're both wands. Fire is the element of wands, willpower. And so moving from being burdened with all of this into lightness, holding this. It's a very magical shift from hyper responsible, worrying so much about everybody else's feelings, to being free and carrying a much lighter load and using your powers, your ability to connect to the universe in order to manifest this really beautiful connection that you have. It's very magical power. There's a magic here for you, my friend. Okay, let's clarify. I feel like I don't even really need to clarify, but I'm going to. I think I said I would, so I'm trying to fulfill my agreement that I made with you at the beginning. Let's see. So we have this high priestess. This is the kind of behavior that this inner kid, this hyper responsible kid, manifests in your life. So you feel trapped. See, this is why we clarify, because it looks really cool, right? This looks cool, but there's more to it, right? You're trapped in your mind. You're afraid to fly free. You are free. You have wings. You can fly, but your mind says you don't. Okay? What else? There you are, flying free. Victory, recognition. The reason you don't fly free is actually we like this recognition, right? We like to be seen as and recognized by others. So that's a part of this. And then you like to be the one that brings the truth, the messenger of truth. Okay. Yeah. So we're not going to get rid of your ability to do this. You could end up growing up being a therapist. So like I said that, I kind of got into inner kid voice here. So you have a job right now, whatever it is. You're probably a grown-up. Do you love your job? Do you do this counseling on your free time? You could shift into doing some kind of your heart's desire here. When you put down this burden, like maybe you do this counseling for free or this magical empathic work for free, and you could actually make a living at it. But what you get paid in right now is that people recognize you, and and you actually like this job of being this messenger of truth. That's basically you channel the universe for people and you help them. That just came through me. I don't actually see on the table why I needed to tell you that you could turn this into a job, but it is a part of inner child work that we get to do our dreams. And I think it might be a little bit because this is what motivates you, is wish fulfillment. So let's see here. The Star, this is your trigger. Not a super big fan of the word trigger, but something will happen and it looks like somebody needs healing, and so here you are to listen, okay? There you are. There's the truth. Not always an easy truth. So I learned from other tarot readers that when the tarot reader says something and then the Ace of Swords shows up, it might just be true what I said. If nothing else here is true, that might be true. So whatever I said there is the classy love offer, that's the Son of Cups. You do this out of love. So like you're not only doing it for recognition, you do care, right? But it comes from your own experience of deep sorrow. You know, and this is, where did I see this? Oh, it was on the bottom of the deck. We had the 5 of Cups on the bottom of the deck. Remember, this is that. So the truth is that you care about other people and you care about their pain genuinely. And you know it. You have compassion for them because you also have deep sorrow. And that is very common for adult children to have, for people that need to do adult child work or inner child work. That comes from, we've lived through this and we want to help other people. The problem is we actually don't have the power to help other people. So we become burdened, but we also get distracted from ourselves, trying to heal other people, trying to make the world the way the world should be, which is full of love. And that's a beautiful motivation. The problem is that it's keeping your world small. It comes in, it's actually causing your life to be small because it gives you security and control, and it limits your life. So let's see, what else about that? There's your healing. There's your Star again. Wow, there's such a strong urge in you to heal. I think it does actually give you some feeling of wish fulfillment and healing. There's something deeply satisfying about this. There's resistance. There's also integrity here. Let me get one more. There is some kind of a thing about you rising up from darkness, and you had something dark in your childhood, right? Whatever the sadness is that caused this inner teenager to emerge, to defend you through this behavior. It comes from difficulty, and there's a Father of Cups. So you are very emotionally intelligent, but you don't talk about your feelings. We know that. You listen to other people's feelings. You're alone. That's what these all say. It's so weird that you're alone because you give so much heart to other people. You carry their burdens, but you ultimately end up feeling very alone. And so your advice is to do this moon work, to look into the darkness, right? You're always shining a light in darkness, but now it's time to shine the light on your own darkness, and that's what a moon journey is. So let's see about that. There's your Wheel of Fortune. We're going to see things turn in your favor. It's divine time, though. You have to wait on the divine to transform. Death, the transformation. That is the Death card. Rising from the darkness. Now, and it's going to take some work. You plant the seeds and you wait. You wait for them to bear fruit. I just planted some wildflower seeds in my garden yesterday. And so what I do now is I just water every day. I make sure the soil is moist. I'm not going anywhere. I can get up every morning. I can turn on the faucet in the backyard and the front yard where I planted these seeds. And so it takes time. And it's also dependent on the divine time, right? So there's some work to do, but it's very transformative work. The death card being here shows, and this is a dramatic transformation, right? To go from this burdened one to this free one. All right, we see you as the magician. You have magical powers. You come to understand that as a result of this life, of what you haven't looked here, and yet this healing of your inner child requires that you look into your past and into its darkness. But when you look there, you're going to realize that because of that life, not despite it, because of everything that happened, which may seem shameful at this moment, it's why you don't want to look there. It's why you focus on others, because there's shame. But I'll tell you, in my own looking into my own darkness, what I found was a gift. And I found that I learned what the magician knows, which is that I have the raw resources, the basic tools to be very powerful and effective in the world, and to begin to build a plan and a world that I want to live in, a life that is fulfilling. So let's see, what about that? Beautiful lightness comes upon you, the Daughter of Cups, sweet, loving, and that's a quality that you have, and you get to keep that. There's still some anxiety, right? We can heal this, but we don't lose that might be a project to go ahead, is to work with your anxiety. And a five of wands. That's some creative conflict. Could be competition. We do see that you are using the swords, the cups, and the wands here. It feels like you might need some grounding. I actually see that there's the earth. That's your pentacle, earth kind of grounding. So we can read this here. We see you in the future as a magician. Very creative, very open-hearted and sweet still. There's the moon journey again on the bottom. There's moon work here to be done, and that's the only card on the bottom. You're still, we'll heal these parts of ourselves. We still see you new at it, young at it. You get to keep this young self, but you'll feel conflicted and you'll feel anxious sometimes, but you'll learn how to work with that. That's what the magician says. So it's a lifelong journey, the moon journey here, and this and turning this burdened one into this powerful one it takes work, and that's what the cards are telling you, my friend. So I hope this helps you. I'm now going to move forward into the transition to reading 3. Have a beautiful day. Okay. Let's just go. Okay. 49. Trying to hurry. I don't know why. Well, hello. You are here to find out about inner child number 3, this Page of Pentacles. A very grounded energy in general, but this one is very fun, kind of an athlete. I think of a basketball player. It kind of gives me an inner teenager feel. So let's see, we will shuffle the cards and ask questions. Yeah, I like this person. They're visible with the pink hair, with the arm akimbo. They have like a coolness, an attitude. So this is a really neat inner child, or inner teenager. Let's see how they're going to manifest in your life and what advice you might need to heal this or work with this really cool part of you. Okay, so first of all, how does this Page of Pentacles manifest in your life? Wow, so you feel left out. You feel abandoned, you feel neglected. It's like a church, and you feel out in the cold naked. It's like you're too naked to go in there, inappropriate. Is a feeling that I sometimes have about this card, this particular Five of Pentacles. So you're like, I mean, this is this is like a super queer, flamboyant, rebel kind of inner child, but they are feeling what you experience this as is being the weirdo, the one left out. I just had this at a work meeting the other day where if I let myself, I could feel really sorry for myself because I was the only queer in the room. That was the feeling I had. And I'm not saying this inner kid is queer, although they could be. I have a 10-year-old little gay boy in me who's artsy and loves to get dressed, and is probably often appearing in these readings, loves inner child work. But that there was a lot of shame that I had when I discovered that as I identify as a woman, it took me a while to accept that I had a part of me that identified as a boy. So now I totally embrace that, and I think it's rad. But it was hard at first. So you feel, this one looks one way and feels another. So when you're feeling left out, you're looking really cool, okay? I think that happens to me too. Just kidding. Okay, all right. So what triggers this one to come forward? Six of Wands. So this is a recognition. It's like people see that you're right. Your idea prevails. Each wand represents a willpower. And so it's interesting. It's like visibility, or maybe it's the desire for recognition that causes you to feel a lack of that. That certainly would describe my personal scenario here at this work meeting. Is like I wanted to be recognized, and my boss didn't say my name in front of the group. She mentioned a lot of other people in the room, not everyone. There's another person there that I really thought should be mentioned, but wasn't. And so it was that feeling of like, oh, I want her to say what I did this year that was great, because I did a lot of great stuff. But so it's that need for recognition. And that makes me vulnerable, right? So, and this person this inner child is very charismatic. You are recognized, you are seen. So people might not realize that you need recognition. You might even be a bit of an attention seeker. Sometimes I can do that. Here I am on a YouTube channel doing tarot readings. We could see this as attention-seeking behavior. I'm trying to help. Okay, all right. I like this one. They're silly. They're bringing out my own silliness. So how does this affect your life? The High Priestess. This is a person who's very intuitive and wise and divinely connected, but I just see you alone, reading a book, alone, off by yourself. Okay. Very common. We feel isolated. Yeah. At least you're with another person here. Isolated. But this, it's not bad to be alone and reading a book. A High Priestess is great. All these inner children have an upside and they have a hard side. So being able to be alone, being comfortable alone, being connected intuitively to the divine the way that the High Priestess is, these are all great qualities of this inner kid in you, this inner teenager. Okay, what else? What's the advice for you, my dear? Let's see. Ooh, the advice is the Ten of Swords. Something is over. It's dead. It's been stabbed 10 times. All right? The good news is the sun is rising. The long, dark night of the soul is over. This is a sword. This is a mindset. So you need to get done with something. That's interesting. It's a broken heart kind of done. You've been stabbed in the back, no doubt. So if you feel a little victim-y, this can be a victim-y feeling, right? Take all of those swords out of your back, throw them on the ground. Those are your thoughts, and walk towards this new beginning. Okay, where do we see you in the future? There's your new beginning. Ace of Pentacles. It looks like a new job, a new home. It's very real. It's very much in the 3D. And notice what she is spinning, or they are spinning, or he is spinning. That same Ace of Pentacles. That's beautiful. Beautiful. Wow. What's going on the bottom here? On the bottom, the Two of Cups. It's a card of justice. It's a card of soulmate connection. I see these two moving out of isolation into, oh, we're gonna go to the beach. Let's go to the beach. It's a meeting of hearts. It's beautiful. All right. Well, now I don't need to clarify this. I was in my mind, I was playing with maybe we'll just let this reading be what it is, but let's clarify just for fun. I'm nosy. I'm a nosy tarot reader. So let's find out more. Okay. So this behavior, this Page of Pentacles, inner teenager part of you, it's kind of flamboyant one, is really feeling underneath that dynamic surface left out in the cold. Sad. 5 of Cups. Very sad. Grieving. Very painful. 2 5s. 5s are passageways. So we have a 5 of Pentacles and a 5 of Cups. You're focusing on the pain and the lack. You can shift and see, like a 5 of Cups, there's always 3 cups that are empty and 2 cups that are waiting there for you to see them, right? So you can shift your perspective from lack and sorrow and abandonment to soulmate connection here, right? What else? There's a 10 of Cups here. This is the 10 of Pentacles. This really does have to do with your material life. And it's a completion of a Pentacle cycle. So if we keep using my story here, we see in the future, we're going to see there's a new job here, right? So we might be sad about our work and feeling left outside of everybody else's Pentacle work, their satisfaction at work. So you're feeling outside of that. It could mean you're done with that job, or you want to quit that job. I often feel that way. What else? There's the High Priestess. This is the same card here for the effect this has on your life. It really does give you this lone wisdom. So when you shift your perspective and you start feeling all relaxed like her, there's something very, very wise about you. And also very mysterious and secretive. I really see the same gal. I don't know, I keep calling them a gal. They're non-binary, obviously, right? But see, there's that ball, there's that ball. There's some kind of lightness and playfulness that you appear to be cool as this lion, cool as that Page of Pentacles, even though you're feeling really left out and sad about everybody else is in this beautiful community that you feel outside of. And then at other times you're like, I like to be alone, right? I've got other things to offer here. Okay, so what triggers you, we said, is maybe a need for recognition. Let's clarify that. There's your new beginning. That's your future. Okay. Oh, yeah. This is very financial, very practical. Father of Pentacles. And the Daughter of Pentacles. So this is repetition. It's the same card. Yeah, you just want your boss to see you. You want recognition. And you actually want a raise. Like here's a thought I have is like, I did such a good job this year. I should just get a promotion without even asking for it. It's kind of like that. I should just get recognized. So that's very clear that you feel left out when you're not recognized, and then you can kind of feel like, well, I'm fine alone. I'm superior in some way. I'm like a freaking high priestess, right? So there you are. You end up alone, reading alone with all your divine, magical connection, which is fantastic. Actually, the Mother of Pentacles is on the bottom there. So this is a very worky kind of situation here. Okay, the High Priestess. This is how this affects your life. Okay, there's a Mother of Cups. She's very emotionally intelligent, talks about her feelings. We see the building with others. There's the mountain, the sacred mountain I live under here in Flagstaff, Arizona. Perhaps you live under a sacred mountain somewhere. But in the Three of Pentacles, you work with others to make something real in the world. There's an Ace of Cups. A new emotional beginning. Self-love. There's something here that this is actually very positive. You kind of end up like you want recognition, and then you feel left out. But you're really able to come back to this High Priestess sense of self and to reach for and express openly, like the Mother of Cups, your desire to participate in a collaboration with other people of like minds. And it's not where you are. You're not in that. Where you are makes you sad, makes you feel left out. And that might not all be you. Okay, there's a reason they're not recognizing you at work, for example, right? They don't get you. But there is somewhere that gets you, that reaches for you, that you can reach for with your heart. And it's an emotional gift. You are an emotional gift. And this is an emotional new beginning. So this is a very positive story already for this Page of Pentacles, right? They know they're beautiful. They know they're grounded in this. And that's true. That's true of all these inner kids. They're all beautiful, but you already know that. So there's a comfort that you have, and I see nothing unhealthy about it at all. I actually feel like this High Priestess state you're able to get into, where you're like, oh, these people in the real world don't connect to me, but I am divinely, intuitively in the 5D, I'm able to connect out of this room and find my own magic. And I see that here. It's beautiful. Okay, your advice is take all the swords out of your back and walk towards a new beginning. We can see here's the new beginning in the future, but let's clarify this here. All right. Clarifying this. A choice. There's two ideas. There's a struggle to choose. There's an eclipse happening as a result. One idea must eclipse the other. Strength. Yes. This is your highest self. So people stabbed you in the back. You might want to be like a lion and just rip them to shreds. Be like a wild animal. Be violent. But the Strength card says that this beautiful heart that you have is your strength. And that this will conquer all of your disempowering thoughts, all of your Five of Pentacles, Five of Cups, feeling sorry for yourself kind of stuff, that instead of being violent out of that and retaliating in kind to these people that stabbed you in the back or that you think stabbed you in the back, come with your heart. Come forward with your heart like this lion, right? Here he's bringing a rose, bringing love. And there's a Seven of Swords. Now, the Seven of Swords can be about stealing and lying. But this Seven of Swords is very much like the High Priestess. Like you have a beautiful truth, and you hold that truth privately. You know what's true about you. This is an interesting little setup here. So sometimes when I'll see this Two of Swords, here I'll think, okay, so you have a choice, right? You can these are your choices. You could be like this lion coming forward with the rose. You could be like this fox, the little liar, the little thief that stole this sword. Right? We could see a dilemma here. Choose this or this. But this is your advice. And the advice says, you've been stabbed in the back. Something is over. It's something in your mind. It could be a set of ideas. It could be whatever this heartbreaking situation is where you feel outside. And so this is about seeing the truth, that little truth that little fox holds, is also a gift. Yes. You don't actually have to make a choice. The truth here that you're alone with is also a gift that's being brought to you in your best interest of your authenticity here. So that's the new day dawning, right? When you realize, okay, this is true what's happening here. My inner child is not leading me astray. My inner children are always right. I need to listen to them. I need to learn to listen to them because they're like the High Priestess. They're instinctive and intuitive. Sometimes they tell me stories that cause me to sabotage my life, but the more they heal, and I feel like this particular inner child that we're talking about, your inner child, is pretty advanced and able to do this. I mean, this is beautiful, right? This is beautiful. So like, there's something about this inner kid who's really working for you. And so that the truth is you're a gift here. So get up from all this painful situation. It's over, and walk towards a new day. Here it is. Here's your future. It's real. It's in the 3D. It's a new beginning. Okay. So let's see. Let's see here. Ace of Pentacles. What's this future here? There's your pain, there's your mind, your Three of Swords, and your heart out of alignment. Your mind stabs your heart. That hurts. It's obsession. Okay. There is Eight of Cups. There's a missing cup you have to leave. Walk away. Walk away from this broken heart. You're being told this twice now. Four of Cups. This is the doubt that you have that there's anything better than this. But the thing is, wow, there's something new coming in the midst of all the pain that you're still healing from. What's on the bottom here? One card, the Daughter of Wands. Card of the outsider, the foreigner, the queer, the one that, yeah, there's something really beautiful that's only here like this Two of Cups, where you get recognized for your awesome weirdness, right? There's a very queer kid, and so is the Daughter of Wands. This is a queer. You don't have to be gay, although I hope you are. What it means is an inner child inner children that we have this, that we live through trauma, we see things don't work. We see what's normal and seems okay, and we can see, nope, it doesn't work. This needs critique, right? We can see that. You're not wrong about that. This reading says you are right. There's some situation you're feeling left out of, you're not recognized. It gets you tied up in knots, but you have like this high priestess way of surviving it and resolving it and moving towards your heart. But there's something about this repetitive pattern that you have to go through that hurts you over and over and over again. And that you keep waiting for this Ace of Cups here. And in fact, that's what's missing from this. And it's never going to be here. So when you get an 8 of Cups like this, and you're waiting for that Ace of Cups, quit waiting. You got to leave, right? You got to leave. That's true. 4 of Cups. It's never going to change. It's always going to be a small world. It's not going to get you. You're better than this situation. And that's what this reading is about. And your inner child knows this. And in this case, your advice is take the gift, take the truth, go forward with it. The Strength card is the strongest card in the tarot. It can beat the devil. It can beat all the self-defeating thoughts that you may have. So listen to this inner child. They're right. Trust what you know. Trust your gut. High Priestess is here twice. Your gut, your intuition are right on. Okay? There's something beautiful ahead for you. It's going to come in even as you're resolving this very, very, very painful situation. The situation is outside of you. It's not just this inner kid sabotaging you and making your life miserable. Your inner kid's right. They're a gift. You are a gift. So know that and get out of there, wherever there is. Okay, my friend, I'm going to move on to the final reading. I hope this helped. All right, have a beautiful day. Shuffling. And it's going to be 113. Well, hi, you are here for this anxious one, this insomniac, this 9 of Swords. The sweet one that's up all night by herself, or himself, or their self. Okay, let's find out. Let's heal this baby. Okay, so inner kid number 4. Let's ask some questions. That's when my mind gets me in the middle of the night. It's an old-timey feeling. It was back to tough nights when I was a kid. Okay, we're going to split this deck, and the first thing we're going to ask is, it appears that this is manifesting as anxiety and insomnia, but let's see. How is this inner kid showing up? The womb. This is the only deck I have that has this card, the womb. Although I'm sure there's other decks that add a card. It's in the Major Arcana, a card about even after the end, the world, you hang out in this place, this womb. It's very safe. You can hear the heartbeat, your own heartbeat under the water. Very quiet. There's a little bit of a procrastination before going on to the next journey, a little bit of a rest here. So it's like this insomniac, this anxious one this inner kid, it's showing up in your life. It looks like you're kind of immobilized, like you aren't ready to act. act, or even maybe to start life. It's like you haven't even been born yet. Okay? So let's find out more. Okay, what triggers this? There's the beginning. The Fool. It is the very thought of setting out on a journey of life at all, just beginning. And it gets you stuck. It causes you anxiety. Okay? It's a lovely place in the womb. All right, what's the effect on your life? You're a workaholic. 8 of Pentacles. See, it's not like you don't work. You do work. I recognize that. That's a woodpecker flirting by banging on the metal of my window. There's a little nest being built in my house, which I love. Okay, so you just work. You put your head down and work very responsibly, right? You're called to an adventure. It freaks you out. You go to work. Work is your womb. It's not a very interesting job, but I'm going to say it's very responsible and you're very good at it. It's not that it doesn't take skill. It's just maybe not your dream, okay? We'll find out. We'll clarify. Your advice is the 6 of Pentacles. So this is a card about generosity. It's like there's plenty and you're rich and you can give it to others. This advice says throw it all away. This is you working. This says throw it all away. Give it away. Give it away. Give that job away. Give your wealth away. Give your practical concerns. Just throw them out. We'll clarify, but that really clearly comes through as your message, my friend. Okay, the outcome is, wow, the Wheel. The world divinely supported. Everything is going to turn, and it's going to turn in your favor. That's beautiful. Look at that little spider. So there is something about the work that you are doing, not at your job. And I see that this overlap here, right? So we can see the stars here calling you. So put down the practical. Answer the call of the stars. You've built this beautiful web. Wait in that web for your luck to come, right? A spider builds a web to catch her dinner, right? And your ship is coming in. That's what that says. Underlying here. One beautiful card, a Knight of Cups. It looks like a vacation to me, like you're going to a beautiful seaside. You're going to swim with the fishes. Watch the sunrise and set. Beautiful. I see real emotional freedom coming for you. But you do have some kind of job to quit somehow. You're giving away something very practical. Let's clarify, because the tarot knows better than I. That is just me channeling for you. But let's clarify. Okay, so we have this is how this inner child appears. Anxiety and insomnia up in your head. Miserable. And it keeps you here, just waiting for life to begin. And you're doing this while you're waiting. You're working your butt off in this kind of grim job, really. Not always. 8 of Pentacles is often wonderful. It's skilled and everything, but it feels grim compared to all this other magic here. So let's see about this womb. Okay, so there's a Son of Wands. This is a very fast, inspired energy. It's like a spark. And then it hits your sadness. So you get inspired, and then you run up against the sadness of your life. You have a broken heart, and then you stay in your womb. Let's see. Yeah. So you know there's a watery place. There's this 6 of Swords. It's often about moving from disturbed waters to calmer ones. Here it's like put down your thoughts. These are the ones that are keeping you up at night. Your anxiety, your insomnia. Drop them. Drop these thoughts. Drop these stories and walk towards this You're not able to do that, although you have a lot of mojo, the Son of Wands. And there is a place to go, but it's your sadness. You seem depressed to me. And so then your depression is like this womb, and you just float around in it. Like sometimes I take a bath, and I'll just stay in the bath for hours, and it's not even comfortable. I can't read. The water gets cold, and I'll just get stuck in the bath. There's that kind of feeling of, there's got to be something to do besides stay in the bathtub, right? Okay. My watch said drink some water. Okay, so now, the Fool. This is what triggers you. When you just think about this, you get in the bathtub and you never get out, okay? The Fool. The truth. Funny, when your tarot reader gets the Ace of Swords, what I just said is true, okay? So you're wallowing in the bathtub. You do that too, my dear? All right. You might be tired from staying up all night with your head. There's this, the truth is, you can make a beautiful life for yourself. You have all these tools. In fact, you understand that the life you lived, your childhood, that broke you, it keeps you anxious. Like, I'm going to say a part of what happens is, okay, so the magician has all the tools to make the world that they want to live in. That's very powerful. But when you think about that, it freaks you out, and you go and you get in the bath. So there's something about, and I totally understand this, the way that we're afraid of our own success. Healing, wish fulfillment. You're afraid of all of this beautiful life that you could have. You know it too. You know you could have a beautiful life if you just took action towards it. And yet you can't, because you get up in your head and then you're like, I can't. It's a cycle. So you just stay stuck. You go to your boring job, right? This is what your life looks as a result. I'm just going to go to my little job. I'm going to make the little what's it thing that I make repetitively all the live long day. Okay, what else? Intuition, intuitive knowing. You intuitively know something. There's a secret. What else? Wow, temperance, waiting, alchemizing. Ten of Swords. It's over. It's dead. Walk away. Wow. I feel your heaviness. I feel this inner kid aspiring and like believing like the fool in your own magic, and then freaking out, getting stuck. Waiting for the right moment, waiting for it to be perfect, for all the elements to be aligned. That's temperance. And then it's not going to be like that. It's going to be a mess. It's going to be like that. It's going to be your brain, and then your life's going to be at an end. That's the fact. If you don't get up out of the womb, out of the bathtub, leave this boring job. Give this boring job to the people that need it. There's something better for you. This is like, at least go on a beautiful vacation. You can come back to this job maybe. But this Nine of Swords kid in you, this is how your life is going to look. Not good. Grim, okay? If you just keep waiting for everything to be perfect, waiting and waiting for somebody to do something for you, this says if you throw away the practical and reach for those stars, well, let's see, this is your advice. Let's get some more clarification on that. Give it away. There's your mind. You can fly out of there Look at you, you're a butterfly. Your mind has you trapped. There you are, flying with that truth, carrying the truth, flying out of there. Emperor, master of your own life, the leader of your own life. Alone? This is good. This is very powerful. Aries energy. This one, your brain keeps you trapped. You're more, you know how powerful you are. You know. Like the Emperor and the Fool are cards, like, they both make me think of strangely, well, Emperor is an Aries, card of Aries, and the Fool is what I always think. I used to think Aries were like, because they're the youngest zodiac sign, I would think of the Fool. But now I know an Aries, and they're very, like, they know what they want. They've got this bullheadedness. And that's not something you lack. You know what you want. You know you could do it, but you get trapped in your mind. It looks like you get trapped by the practical, because I look on the bottom here, and it's like this infinite, there's an infinite temperance, infinite waiting for it to be perfect, right? We saw that here, right? Waiting for the truth, holding the truth forever. Knowing, you know. So the future sees you letting it all go and flying off like the Son of Swords, taking the truth and flying away towards who you know you could be, which is an Emperor, going on vacation. So when you do that, if you are able to find that, to get yourself free of your mind, the Wheel of Fortune turns in your favor. What do we have? A new inspiration, a new beginning, creativity, a spark, passion, desire. Wow. Nurturing, beautiful, the Empress, the earth, that tree lighting up the darkness. Beautiful. And there you are, taking your journey, the Fool, again. Wow. Something, I don't know what happens first. I see you flying towards your Emperor, towards taking leadership in your life. I see you giving up your boring job, giving away all your pentacles, flying out of your mind and getting free. And when you do that, it's like, click, the wheel turns. Here comes your inspiration. Here comes your ability to be the loving parent in your life, to reparent yourself, to be the loving grown-up that nurtures and support you, nurture and support yourself. And you go off on your new journey like this cute little duckling. And you already know this, but this has scared you. And so when you take the action to free yourself of your mind, it's strangely not totally clear what that action is. It looks like whatever you're holding on to, give it away, right? We know your mind, if you stick with what you're doing, will end up here. So if you fly out of there like that, like, what does this suggest you do? Those pentacles, they represent work, the 3D, your needs. This card is about being rich, about throwing it away, giving it away. What does that make you think of? That's what you're supposed to do. It's interesting because you are so conscious of your capacity, but you just stay in that bathtub, which I know that feeling. It's an inertia feeling. And so you actually have to be the one that tells yourself the truth that ignites that flight. And when you do that, the wheel turns, inspiration comes in, the ability to be a loving parent in your life. And then there you are, this young fool taking off. Like, what's missing here is the Empress. Wow. And there it is. There's you. Wish fulfillment, the happiest card in the tarot. The sun, authenticity, joy. That's what this is about. That's what this is about. It's beautiful. Use your mind in a way you haven't been using it to get up out of that bathtub and go out and have the life that you know you could have. And it's a beautiful life. Free yourself from your mind. There's a very, very anxious one in you that you need to love and nurture and help to be all that you can be. That's funny that that comes into my mind, but that's like, don't join the army unless that's your dream. You're doing something that you're it's almost like you're a workaholic, but that job that you have is like the womb. It's like the bathtub that you don't ever get out of. And when you get out of there, even if you just go on a vacation, but I think it's more than that. You start a new journey and fortune turns in your favor. So don't be afraid. Your mind's telling you you can't, but that's just a perspective and you can change your mind. Okay, good luck. Let me know. Have a beautiful day.